So I don't know if I told you, Big L.
What?
Did I tell you the big news from this past weekend?
What's the big news?
My Facebook got hacked.
No, your Facebook got hacked.
Girl, I've known you very well. I've seen you growing every day. I never really looked before, but now you take my breath away. Suddenly you're in my life, a part of everything I knew. You got me working day and night, just trying to keep my hold on you. Here in your arms I found my paradise, my only chance for happiness. And if I lose you now, I think I will die. Oh, say you'll always be my baby, we can make it shake.
Why you giving me that look?
Well, because I'm curious
Welcome-
as to what do you mean your
Welcome
your
to the
Facebook
Joel
got
Henderson
hacked?
Show. My name is Joel Henderson. With me,
Nah, Big Al, sexual chocolate, the whole list goes on and on.
all of those things that he says. No, my Facebook was technically hacked.
What do you mean? Okay, here we go. See, what do you mean technically hacked?
I mean, somebody else changed my profile picture and header image to something of some disgust.
Who did that?
Well, I mean, based on tattoo evidence alone, we're gonna have to go with one Justin Keel.
Really?
Yes, I mean, despite the fact that I, let's see. So Sunday he was claiming he was talking, or no, Saturday, he wasn't going. He doesn't have internet. He wasn't gonna have internet until Sunday.
That was Saturday. You gave him the iPad.
Correct. So
Okay.
I let him borrow my iPad to tether to, and then he gets drunk and decides that it's hacking my iPad, or it's hacking my Facebook to click the Facebook app. That's lazy hacking. That's not
I
even
mean,
hacking. It can't even be considered hacking.
It's not hacking,
If
no.
I was in Facebook and I left my phone on the table and he were to go over and pick it up and do something, that's hacking. That's getting into somebody else's shit. But I gave you the iPad with the fucking internet to give you internet, and you're going to use that internet to pretend like you hacked me. Lazy hacking. I'm calling it lacking. So it was lazy.
Okay, yeah. So what did he change the picture to?
Oh, a picture of him bent over with no pants on. So like his Ryan King tattoo and his ass.
What's his Ryan King tattoo?
It's a tattoo on his what do you call it? Tramp stamp spot.
Yeah.
Of a crown, and it says Ryan. So it just made me laugh that he ended up getting a tattoo that said Ryan King.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
He has a crown tramp stamp?
Yes, he has a crown tramp
I
stamp.
did not
with his
know he
kid's
has a
name.
crown. Well, okay.
I mean, I could probably pull up on my Facebook because I didn't.
No.
I didn't delete the posts. All I did was hide them from timeline.
Actually, it's funny you say that. Is this the iPad that Sawyer uses?
That's the iPad that is completely fucking destroyed. The screen, yes.
Okay.
Why? What about it?
Because he's somehow when he goes to YouTube and watches all his stuff, it's under my YouTube account. So like I went to history
That's
the other
fucking amazing.
day. I went to history the other day and I was like, what the fuck? Like Skylanders, and it's just for days.
Oh.
Like Skylanders for days.
Unbelievable. I'm so lucky that he takes as much joy watching other people open presents as he does getting them himself.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing to him.
Yeah.
He loves watching.
Yeah, dude. And just I
It's
mean,
the
really
best
just
fucking thing in the world for him, and
This thing's
so he
dead.
somehow is in your Facebook or
Or
your
my
YouTube.
yeah. Like
That's
you do-
hacking. Sure, you logged in there one time.
Yeah,
I
I
think
probably
we
never
logged you
logged
in
out.
for a Google Hangout back when we were doing those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty
so that's
amazing.
what's logged in there then. Probably my Google Hangout address.
Well, your YouTube account, which is your Gmail,
See, and you said
which is
your Facebook got hacked, and I'm like, wow. Like this is like
no
six-
hacking. It would be somebody fucking like going in and
That's what I
deleting
thought.
photos,
or like somebody like got
imagine
their
if somebody
password.
just went in and deleted your entire Facebook, like all the shit on it.
Yeah.
That'd be
Well,
fucked up.
It would be, and I don't go on Facebook that much anymore, man. But like,
Yeah, when and why did you? Genuine question. When and
Yeah.
why did you become a Facebook snob?
it's not a Facebook stop. It's just that I don't feel like going on there. That's all. Like when I'm bored, I check it, man. But I don't like. It's not part of my routine anymore to like wake up, check Facebook, do this, post this. Like
Where
that.
did you supplement that interaction?
What do you mean?
because mainly the reason to use it is to promote stuff. Sorry, if you don't know that I'm using fucking Facebook to promote stuff, then you're not my friend on Facebook. But how are you supplanting that need?
What do you mean? Like you promoting stuff?
Yeah, like how are
Well,
you
you
promoting
tag me in all
things?
this stuff. You know what I mean? So it shows up on my wall. It's still there. It's not like I deactivated my account.
Yeah, but so you're just not doing any promoting.
I just don't do
have to
any
promote.
Facebook. What do you mean I don't do any promoting? I hand out business cards and tell people. I talk to actual people face to face and tell them to watch the show. I had a guy tell me the other day he couldn't find it. It took me 25 minutes to get him to be able to watch an episode of the show.
That's
on
insane.
YouTube. Yeah, I know. It was insane.
It doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
at all. I mean, as you saw, we looked it up. We searched Blinkered, and it came up on the first
It was
page.
like the first page, yeah.
Admittedly, it's probably not the only thing, but I tried to pick a name that, a word that was used infrequently enough. Weirdly enough, I'm reading this book, or I just finished this book called Annihilation, and
Yeah.
I'm going to start reading the second one. They used the phrase Blinkered twice in it.
What do you mean blink? Oh, just like the actual
The
phrase.
actual word.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I wish I had the Blinkered point of view that they have, talking about another member of the team or something. And so I highlighted both ones. It's just weird,
Yeah.
twice in the same book, somebody says the word Blinkered.
Yeah. An actual
What?
book, hard copy, physical paper book.
I said I highlighted it. Would I really write in a book?
I mean, you would highlight in a book. I would. You don't like highlight stuff in your books that are like
I do.
important?
I do
Yeah.
in iBooks now.
Yeah.
There was
I do
one
it,
part
like,
where I
in the
made a
actual book,
prediction
yeah.
about the ending. I like highlighted it, and then you could make a note. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is gonna come back to be blah blah blah," and either I was totally wrong or it's just continuing all into the next book because it's a trilogy book series. And it was recommended to me as if you liked Lost, you might like this.
Really?
Yeah, it's about this mysterious Area X and the expeditions that go there. And
How far into the first book are you?
I finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's weird because there weren't like any answers given per se. Like they didn't say what some of the locations, you know what I mean? They didn't give any details about it, like any hard evidence or hard fact. So everything's still kind of up in the air. I'm assuming because it's a trilogy that it's just going to continue and we'll eventually learn about it. But
Yeah.
well, actually, they did give some answers as to the creation of Area X, and that there were teams before that. They send in a team of like a biologist, anthropologist.
Where's Area X located?
I don't know exactly. They didn't. I don't think they said, but they may have. There was one part that talked about the creation of it, and yeah. But it's just them going in there, and then people come back, and they're different.
You're not really a big reader.
What do you mean I'm not a big
Do you
reader?
read a lot? You read a lot of books, even iBooks? I mean, I didn't know
Well,
you were a big reader.
Only
guy. I mean,
iBooks.
well, obviously, only iBooks. Yeah.
No, not only iBooks. I got the book S by J.J. Abrams.
Did you actually read it?
I started it.
Yeah.
I do have a really hard... I feel like there's some sort of tangible difference to my ability to stay locked in on a page, and that's a really hard book to read.
Yeah.
For my ADD, that book is comprised of 3 things going on. You're reading the main book, but then there's notes by 2 different people having a conversation back and forth in the side margins.
Oh, really?
And sometimes they'll circle a word and draw, and then you have to like read what it says. So like for somebody with ADD, it's fucking insane to try to keep track of all
Yeah.
that. I don't know how to do it. I genuinely don't, but it's yeah. So I mean, I try to remember all the stuff that was in it, but I don't. And it's
See,
hard.
but that's all, dude.
I
And
don't
that's
know.
my thing, man. Is like, okay, I don't.
It's got to be
mind
something I give a
reading,
shit about.
But I want an easy read. I don't want I'm not a reader. Like
Okay.
I like reading, and especially stuff I care about.
Dude.
But I'm not a reader. Like I don't want to read.
I know what you
yeah.
like. I know how to get you into books.
Oh, I read books all the time, guy.
But I know how to get
mean,
you to like something.
What's that?
Something you'll enjoy, rather. That being, read like a wrestling biography, autobiography.
Yeah, see,
Those
I
are
don't like-
actually very interesting.
I read anytime
Like you
I have
wouldn't read a
question-
Hogan book?
No, I'm not into the biography thing, man. I've read some of them, man.
Why? What's your issue with biographies
It's
as
just
you're
not-
writing a biography?
What? Oh, well, it's not. Yeah, that's a 2 totally different things.
No, I'm talking about you originally. You were writing a book. You were writing your own biography. At
I
one
am,
point.
yeah. I'm still writing it.
I'm not talking
It's
about
a
the new
3-part
project.
series. I mean,
I'm not talking about the new project that we
No.
won't disclose
No,
due
we
to
can't
national
disclose.
security issues.
you have no idea, man. They're gonna come find me after this one. But no, I am writing a biography. It's 3 chapters. It's a 3-piece, I
But
guess.
so what's your issue with biography?
It just doesn't interest me.
You don't
I
like to
wanna-
know more about somebody?
If I do, I Google the Wikipedia, and that's about it.
But you
the
get like
rundown.
for me, the first one that I read was Mick Foley's book because Jen's mom had had bought it, and so I read that one, and man, I ended up really liking the audiobook version better. I can follow. It's like a podcast. If you write a fucking book, read the book on audio somewhere and put it on the internet. Sell it.
I'm still
I will
gonna do the
pay a
Notebook.
couple
I'm gonna
dollars
do
for
the
that.
audio version of Notebook. How many pages is the Notebook?
You'll be perfect for it. They said they picked him because he had no charisma and no sexual energy.
Who? James Garner?
No.
Oh.
The guy, Ryan Gosling,
Who's Ryan Gosling?
for the Notebook.
I've never even seen the Notebook guy. I don't know.
Ryan
what you're talking
Gosling, he was in Drive and some other.
about. They're redoing the Notebook.
No, the Notebook was with Ryan Gosling.
No, never seen it.
Okay, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you're going to read that book, it's perfect because the director picked Ryan Gosling because he said he had no charisma and no sexual energy. So he thought he was giving an unappealable guy to the masses, and the girls fell in love with him anyways.
Oh, girls is not my problem, guy. I have sexual energy and charisma.
Do you?
I have tons of
In
it.
audiobook form?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean,
That's
I've never
what we need
had
to
it in
find out.
audiobook form.
Well, you have it right now. Give us a snippet of your biography, and go.
Why would I give you a snippet of my biography?
I don't know. It's a sample of your reading of your biography. It can literally be anything. It doesn't have to be something you've previously written, but I want to hear the stuff in your voice, as you're reading it. That was what we were talking about.
Well,
Whether you had
I
the
need to be
chemistry-
reading something.
But you
though.
can-
I can't.
you can.
There's a difference from reading something on a piece of paper than coming up with a story. You're asking me to read a story
No,
that
just-
I don't have.
And
that's-
that was the day that I fixed the table leg. It was the last time I was gonna, I just meant anything. It didn't have to be a
Yeah.
story per se. It could just be, and I felt blah that day.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And I don't know the rest of the words, and that's really a shame, because I probably do know the words, but I can't remember them right now. And then I opened my eyes, and I was standing on home plate. It was 1989.
Okay, you can stop.
All
I'm
right,
wet.
thank you. What?
I'm wet.
Well, I'm sure.
Good
And
job.
so is the female audience.
Well,
guy.
I know.
Dude, my mom
Try
tells
to
me all the
contain
time
the
I have a
gushing that
face
is
for
happening right
radio.
now. If everybody could just control their gushing, how do they do that? Do they do Kegels? Is that how you control your gushing?
I
You
haven't
just
found anybody
pinch?
that's been able to control it yet, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. Well, nobody's tried.
If you're able to control it, please give us a call. The hotline number.
The 4275. The next thing, I don't have a next thing. What we were talking about your biography, your autobiography. You don't like biographies. We were talking
yeah.
about reading. I don't know. We were talking about the book.
Well, because I like books, man. There's books I like to read. Like I read Sun Tzu 4 times. Blow, which was a biography, I read in it had to be 1996, way before the movie came out. Me and your cousin went and rented it. Is that what you checked out from the library on
Yeah,
Route 30?
I think it is just
checked out. That's
yeah.
what you call that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't called Blow, was it?
Yeah, it was called
It
Blow.
was really just called Blow
How
still?
a small town boy made $60 million with the Medellin drug cartel and lost it all. It was about that thick. I know you can't. Oh well, they can see it. The podcast hearers can't. But it was pretty thick, almost like a pack of
Big
cigarettes.
L has his penis out. It's 2
Yeah,
inches.
so it's 12 inches thick. That's a huge penis. 12 inches thick. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, you're splitting vagina. Sorry, female
What do you mean?
listeners.
You're not getting anywhere near a vagina. That's like playing Mario Brothers and the big bomb.
Guy, I'm gonna go
The
back
big
to
bomb is not going to be able to penetrate the areas the little bomb will.
Dude, I got this. I went
Those
to a strip
tubes,
club
for
one
example.
time and won a contest, right? So that I won the DVD, right? So what you do, it's like softcore porn, right? So I go and I throw it in, and I don't know if you know what softcore porn is, but it means they just have lingerie on and they don't show it. Well, whatever.
Are they still sexing?
Oh yeah.
but
Dude,
just like
anyways,
faces and.
it's just weird. This guy had a cock that was so big, like no joke.
But you saw the cock?
Well, that's what it was like the bootiest, like, I'm pretty sure one of the porn actresses was like crying during her scene because she like realized she was doing a porn in a garage for like $50.
As she was doing it,
yeah,
she realized?
as she's doing the porn, man, no
Oh,
joke.
fuck.
She's just fucking, but like I'm sitting there thinking,
This
like,
is what
dude,
my life's come
how
to.
bad would it suck that if your dick was so big, like half of it never even got wet? Like you've had sex with
Yeah, but you said
120
12
girls.
inches around.
Well, I know
wide.
that's what got me thinking on this whole thought I've
Unbelievable.
had before. Yeah, no, but so the book, I had it so long it was a $43 late fee. I read it 3 times. Ryan King actually read it once
Why'd you read it 3 times?
because it was that good.
Okay.
And
What compelled you to it? Just somebody doing criminal activity and getting away with it to a certain extent?
yeah,
But not ultimately?
yeah, dude, we were doing
What about
something.
that draws it? I mean, literally.
It was really.
Is it really about going out in a blaze of glory? Because I don't get that
He
mind
didn't
state
go
at
out in a
all.
blaze of glory at all, man.
No, I'm saying like the other ones with like a Scarface. Like you seem to like these things that are people doing bad shit and getting away with it to an extent, and then eventually everything goes wrong.
Well, yeah, because I like a mafia movie or stuff like that. I've actually read a lot of mafia books and
Yeah,
shit.
so that's kind of what
actually,
you're into.
you know what? That's what we were doing. Me and Tony were at the library checking out mafia books to read, and that's when we found Blow. Because we
Okay.
used to read books all the time. I actually have a couple of them I read. I think he was getting like a John Gotti book or some shit like that. So yeah, I read, dude. I actually have read a lot of books, but it's about shit that like nobody else cares about, but it's what interests me. Because it doesn't matter what. Like, you shouldn't read what I give a fuck about. If I tell you something and it's interesting, then yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to play to your strengths.
It
there
was
with
a good book
suggesting,
because, like,
wrestling stuff.
And it's funny because then they made the movie in like what, 2001. So it was like
I don't know what year that movie
It was
came
like
out.
4 or 5 years later, and he was like an all-American high school football player, like had a scholarship to college. Like, yeah, he really did just up and move to the West Coast, but it was more in depth about his childhood.
Well, yeah, some of it
The
has to be
Pee Wee Herman's
sensationalized.
character's name was different. I mean, obviously his name wasn't really Derek for real. Whatever the crazy guy on the island's name is in the movie, his real name is Carlos Leader, Lehder, and they couldn't get permission to use his name because like they don't know if he's dead or still alive. He just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, they didn't want to get sued by the
So
estate
they
of
changed
somebody.
his name, yeah.
Huh. Yeah,
And
I mean,
Tuna's real nickname was Tuna, and they never actually say his name in the movie.
oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. The beginning was way more in depth. Obviously, the whole drug trafficking part was more in depth.
Yeah, it's
And,
just had to be
Dude,
sensationalized.
the ending, like, dude, that guy's like, I can't believe like they shortened the ending of the movie. They shortened it to get to the point and hit home the part about the daughter.
Yeah.
But like, the part where
Oh, what did they go in depth about his time in jail and stuff?
No, the part about where they start from like where he meets
Spoilers
his
for the
wife.
movie Blow.
It's 13 years old. You're over now. Where they start to flash like where he meets his wife, and then they like have a crazy like montage of them meeting and like crazy sex and cocaine, and it's like really this like 2-minute little part of the movie is actually like a 10-15 year part of his life.
What, are you talking about the first wife?
No, the what's her name? Penelope Cruz.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
That's actually like a 10, like I mean that's
to be fair, the one that was more enjoyable was the first marriage to watch.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why,
obviously, yeah.
for cinematic purposes, that had to be why they
Yeah.
cut it. Because that one, you're just like, oh, great, she's just like a gold digger chick, and
Oh, it was
she's only into
insane,
him because
man.
of who he is, and the other chick was into him before she knew who he was.
Well, like
and,
he
you
was
know what I mean? All
actually
that
in the
garbage.
family, and like the way they cut him out way. It was just, but that was interesting to me. But I wouldn't read I'm not gonna read a biography on Hulk Hogan. I might have even read a biography on Hulk Hogan once. I know I've read a Michael Jordan biography.
I just was going for people, famous people that do things that you like.
Yeah, it was
Like I said,
mean,
Mick
like
Foley's was interesting as fuck because dude's genuinely smart, and some of the stories that you hear that have nothing to do with wrestling, but
Yeah.
are just entertaining as fuck to read. You know, that kind of shit. That's the only reason I read stuff like
and
that.
it's funny because I've like obviously I've read a Michael Jordan biography, and we were sitting, and what was it that made the jokes about the gambling?
That was the Family Guy.
Family Guy Simpsons thing. Dude, what would it be like if Michael Jordan was alive in the actual like TMZ, this social media era? Like, wouldn't he already done be suspended and never ever be able to play like professional sports again for what we can only assume he did just what everybody else was doing.
Are they
And
assuming?
I'm not saying
Are you
he'd be
assuming like gambling against
gambling
basketball or about basketball?
No, he never gambled on basketball.
Well,
But
then
like he
what
had
the
gambling.
fuck does that have
like,
to do with anything?
I mean, he had gambling, dude. He used to like
So?
he used to play like 36 like.
I'm sorry,
18
but
holes
that's
of golf.
different than beating your wife or
Oh,
kids.
absolutely, yeah. But like Pete Rose isn't allowed in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose bet on the game.
On the game, yeah. We don't know. Michael Jordan just had gambling issues.
That's what I'm saying.
Supposedly,
I don't think
that's
there would
why
have
his
been anything.
dad was killed, man, was because of the gambling debt. That's what they say.
I don't understand how Michael Jordan could have gambling debt. First of all, what is the fucking thrill of gambling if you're already
It's
making
not-
millions of dollars?
Well, it's because the way that Michael Jordan's psyche is built. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time. All right, but before that, he's the greatest competitor of all time. Like he really.
No, I know. I
yeah,
just
he
don't.
really
I see how it would
hates
translate.
To lose.
I just
That's
don't get
the
why
thing.
you're even doing it. Who cares? It's not
you don't
fun.
want to lose.
Huh?
You're not like a competitive guy though, man.
I'm competitive in every aspect of my
but
life.
you're not the most competitive guy ever. Like you don't. I mean, you win and you lose, guy. Like I get it. I totally understand. Why
there's
wouldn't
no
you just pay
draw
the
to
debt?
it. No,
Yeah.
there's no draw to gambling in the first place. Is what I'm saying.
See, then
I'm
you're
not.
a
I don't.
gambler.
I'm a realistic person, so I don't think. Oh, I'm gonna go there with $100 and I'm gonna leave with 10,000. Like that.
Well, that's unrealistic. That's not how the boats works.
Exactly.
I mean, you go and you're going to lose money.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So,
you win, sometimes
again,
you lose.
I guess just having the amount of. To me, I guess the ultimate goal seems to be money because money equates to freedom, not necessarily happiness. Money equates to freedom,
Yeah.
right? Like you could then do whatever the fuck you want to do if you have unlimited money. So if you're Jordan, I guess what I'm trying to get to is why gambling? It just doesn't.
This the competitive nature of it, guy. I mean,
I guess
just
I
like
don't
he
get the
gambled,
first
but
time. Like,
he-
why would
we're
someone do
saying
heroin
gambling?
the
And it's
first
not
time?
just like he was going to casinos. Like he was gambling on the golf he was playing. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like who's to say? Maybe he was. There was speculation that he was gambling on basketball. Like supposedly he never got involved in any of that point shaving scandals and stuff when that was all the rage back then. But
well,
the
yeah,
life-
that would have been stuff that if TMZ was shined on
but
him.
even the lifestyles those guys led, like they are all cheating on their wives and doing everything that all the players are getting.
Well, then
busted
for those
now.
purposes, they absolutely would have been outed by TMZ.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have necessarily made us. I think that a Michael Jordan would have had better PR reps at the time.
Oh well, no,
because
Michael
they've
Jordan
had to
was.
evolve.
Well, here's the Michael Jordan was the first athlete and still like was untouchable. You know what I mean? Like he was
Yeah.
golden, no matter what it was. But that's the Walter Payton thing. They came out with a biography a couple years ago, and this guy did all this research and stuff, and supposedly Walter Payton's not the spitting image greatest guy in the world. And yes, he was a great football player, and yes, he did all kinds of stuff for charity. But he had a bad side too. Like he was addicted to painkillers. The biography was saying, I've never actually read it, but what the guy that I heard an interview he did on the radio, and what he's saying is like, dude, his painkiller addiction, and like that's kind of why he retired early, and then he died of kidney disease, and like he had an illegitimate son. One guy said at one point, and blah blah blah. But you never heard about it because it was 1982, 1983, and he's not that. It should change any of the charity work.
Well,
or
that's
the, good
the
guy.
kind of info I seek out in looking for a biography, though. Is I want to know the what makes this person human, what makes them like me.
Yeah.
And that's the only draw to a biography, really. The other
Yeah.
stuff is just I want the cuffs to be off production wise. Like I already installed the program to start writing a book.
Yeah.
It'll be an ebook, so to speak, but I want to write a book because then I'm always thinking, oh, I can't do that. It'd be fucking cool. Ah, no,
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't get I need 10,000 people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right,
And here
you
I can write
can't-
10,000 people
Yeah.
are at blah blah, and then just go, and it's a book, and you have to just take it that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's the one aspect that I really like, and that's what's got me reading again, because it's like people who write read. So I want to write, so I'm going to read more, so that
Yeah.
hopefully stuff will spark, and it'll be like, oh, I could run with maybe, you know what I mean? Because everybody takes a seedling of an idea from somebody else, the whole steal like an artist, blah, blah, blah thing. You know what I mean? So you take a little seed of something and go, oh, well, I could make that mean blah, blah. I talk to Andy at work, and he'll just say something, and then I'll have to write down something from it, from the conversation.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were just watching that Talking Funny, man. Chris Rock says the same thing. All jokes have to have Penny Youngman. Is that the guy's name, or is it Benny Youngman?
I don't
The
know.
old school guy. But it's all the same, man. All that shit comes from I Love Lucy. And it's all just your adaptation on it, but you look at it differently, and on paper you can verbally paint the image to where we're like video, like you said, dude, you can't get 10,000 people.
But if
You
I
can-
write something interesting enough
Well,
and here's the
absolutely,
control
yeah.
freak nature of what I like to do anyways. I like to be there and work out a scene with the people instead of telling them exactly what to do. Like
Yeah.
I like to hear their voice do it. So this way I just have to be those people when I'm writing it and speak clearly for them. And then when if and when it becomes a good story, then I could either put it out or try to shot. You know what I mean? Just put it
Yeah.
out there. Really, I don't have any thought. I imagine if somebody finds something that I have already written that they want to produce.
I got a publisher for you when you're ready, guy.
Well, I mean, ebooks you can publish yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think you could publish them into the iTunes store, which is ideal if it's an
Yeah,
ebook.
I bet
Like
you
I'd like
would.
to put. I want to make a book that has video in it. Like if it's an ebook.
Can you do that?
Yeah, if it's you can do it with textbooks. New textbooks on the iPads are fucking ridiculous. You can go in there and then it'll be like, oh, aquatic fish and blah blah blah. You look at this type of fish and then you click the video and it pops up full screen and plays a video about that. That destroys our textbooks because they could just push an update every year
Yeah.
to update any mistakes or update any information.
Is that from that East Chicago thing that you did a couple years back? Like, have you done any follow up on that?
No, that they took the computers back. That there was a video that I did for a school corporation where they rolled out their MacBooks to every kid, and within a couple months they found 3 of them in Mexico, based on the serial number. People had them stolen, so they just sold them and said they were stolen. And they ended up pulling them back. So no, that didn't work out, and that's not the same thing. They're talking. I think every classroom should have iPads for the kids, and that should be how you're teaching.
Yeah.
As far as books go, for the educational materials, you can fucking come up with anything on there, and there are definitely smarter, more creative people in the app developing community than there are in fucking textbook writing, whatever you want to call them, building
Yeah.
places, facilities.
Taking jobs away from more Americans, though, Jay.
Refining stuff. I like to do it all the time. I do it with this. It just everything is in a constant state of refining. You know, technically my shelves are all organized good. They're okay, but I changed it around because I wanted people to see that I like Lost, you know?
You like Lost? I would have never guessed.
Never thought,
I
huh?
would've known.
Love.
Never.
I don't know why I said love. Speaking of, I'm going to, in addition to How to Watch TV with Sons of Anarchy, which we're recording on Thursdays, I'm going to start watching an episode of Lost a week with my daughter, who is now 10. I'm sure nobody remembers Lena Explains Lost. When she was 6, we watched the first 8 episodes, and after each episode she gave me a little rundown
that
of
comes up on your YouTube page.
Yeah, it does. So you can still watch those, but we're going to start over, and we're going to do it in audio podcast form and just talk about the episode. And I feel like she's a little bit older now that the conversation will be a little bit easier, but she's still young and naive enough that I feel like she'll interpret it differently than I would.
What if she doesn't like it, guy?
Be interesting. I mean, I don't see how that can happen, but sure. You can't hate on 1 and 2. Like you could.
What do you mean?
People can disparage any of the later seasons all they want. Oh, it got
Oh no,
confusing.
I've never.
If you watch seasons 1 and 2 of Lost, I would be shocked to find somebody who says, "Yeah, I don't like it" after the pilot. Like the genuinely says, "I don't like it," not just I'm not interested to go further, but to go, "Yeah, that was crap."
Oh, I don't know. I've never really met anybody who didn't like the show. You know what I mean? Like everybody.
And most of the people love it so much that they're able to feel betrayed by the finale or hate thing. You know what I mean? Put words like that out there. To have such intense emotion, it had to start with some intense love to begin with. You know, you had to feel like it was really something you cared about for somebody to be able to screw you on it.
Well, and I
So
don't
that's
feel,
what I want to do to
yeah.
people. I want to write something that people care so deeply about, and I want to make the characters so human. It's one of the things that frustrates me with like Jim when we're trying to act out a scene, and I'm like, I really just want you to be like the thing we filmed here, where I was like, hey, I just want you to be talking about your music, and then it becomes kind of like a jokey character where he's trying to be about it, and it's like, no, I want a real human to just tell me their not insecurities, but talk to me like you're not trying to act a certain way, like you're just talking about it. Just do that thing. Just believe that that's the thing you need to do right now. And it's frustrating because I get the instinct to go, oh, I want to play this up and make it funny, but I really just want humans are so fucking interesting and complex, and you know what I mean, all that shit emotionally.
Yeah, but
The spectrum you get from stuff that isn't contrived and written,
but
like the
writing
story
for
stuff.
writing for a human and then giving it to an actor and letting them portray it is way different than saying to someone like Jim, "Hey, be human on camera."
Yeah,
But it's totally. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
know.
apples and oranges,
Yeah.
guy. It really is.
I don't know
Because
about
Jim's
this
not
stuff.
secure enough to be human.
But if
on
it was,
camera.
I guess if I had written a script and given it to him a month in advance, and he was able to memorize the lines and feel the part out,
Yeah.
I'd have to trust his interpretation.
well,
I
he
guess.
would be able to do better at least. Let's hope.
Well, I'd trust his interpretation at that
Yeah.
point because I would have been able to say, well, maybe try it more with blah blah. But on the spot, it's like it's frustrating because I really just want. I'm trying to be myself on camera. I'm not trying to be who I am when I'm trying to make people laugh. Like, I'm just trying to be me at the core and not try to do certain hand movements or gestures that are, you know, things that I do, like, you know, I'll wipe the corners of my mouth or, you know, things that are time fillers that I don't do when I'm not performing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between who I am when I'm performing, and I'm trying to eliminate that guy. I don't want the performing guy. I want it to be me so that I can just be real and say things and emote seemingly normally, or, you know, the way that a human would, or that I would.
Yeah, but you're probably what you're doing is you're focusing on so much on not doing the little idiosyncrasy.
No, I'm
things.
getting there. Every new thing that we film, I'm one step closer to being more me.
Yeah.
The stuff that we filmed over at my parents' house when we were talking outside, that stuff, that was the most me I've been in one of those little back and forths.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's hard to be natural and not be caring. That's what it is. You have to not give a shit. Like, I have to forget that camera's right there and not fucking care about my slumped over posture or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, here's the problem: is that you should care about your slumped over posture in the first place. And if you cared about your slumped over
Oh, I don't
posture,
sit like this all the time.
No,
I'm
that's
sitting
like-
on this bench that I don't normally sit on.
yeah, you're actually in an awkward position.
I
But
have
if
to
you
feel like I gotta lean
that's
down,
what-
but I don't.
See, and that's what you need to do is you need to focus on being yourself when you're off camera. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you should sit at work with perfect posture all day long. You know what I mean? So then when you do sit there, you are sitting with perfect
God,
posture, and it's awful. You're preaching, dude. This is perfect posture. You saw how dude, I'm like this.
Yeah.
We've been sitting here. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
It's
No,
not
we
like
should
I'm
be-
saying my back hurts or I have any side effects
like,
from
this
it.
is the proper way to sit, right? I mean, this is
Yeah,
how
but
we
that's
should be
not the
sitting.
proper way to talk to the mic. So you
No,
gotta
it's
be
not at all. But
Don't lean in.
lean in, I lean out.
So you want to write a book?
I'm writing like 6 books, guys.
I know, but I'm saying we can get you the iBooks author software.
I'm old school
It's
guy. I
great.
want to write it. I'm gonna write it.
You say that.
Yep. That's the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also not ever going to use audio on your phone or the home button.
What do you mean?
I thought those were both very clear statements.
I don't understand.
I was
how
saying
that
things
applies.
that you said a week ago before you saw the convenience of them or got used to the convenience of them again. You were never going to use audio on your phone. Oh, I'm not going to use those voice memos. I'm never
No,
gonna
that
send
wasn't.
you one.
See, and you're going.
I'm
Oh,
not
that's
gonna.
it. You act like I'm walking around going, no, I'm not getting a new phone because I don't need a home button. Yeah, that's not what I was saying.
But
guy.
you made such
But
a big
that's how-
deal out of it.
But that's how you're perceiving it, and that's not how it actually
But you're
was.
though then I'm here to tell you that you're portraying that.
No,
you're going.
it
I'm
wasn't.
such a hipster. It's not a big deal that I'm so used to the home button not being there, bro. I don't even care. That saying that repeatedly makes me think that you care. That's all
What
I'm
do you
saying.
mean? No,
Because you've said that nearly every time we talked about the new phone, it's been, I don't even care about the home button. Because I'm like, how is it to have the home button? You're like, I don't even care about that, bro. I'm so used to not. I could just put the thing on there. That tells me that you.
That
it
was
is a
like
thing.
36 hours after I had the phone, to be fair. Okay.
But up to and including a few days after
they're
you got
anyways,
to that.
what you're saying is two totally different things from writing a book. What I'm saying is I want to write the book. And yes, obviously at some point it's going to have to go into some sort of computer file.
Yeah,
because
because you got to be.
But I want
to
to go
search.
through the motions of writing the book. The autobiography, the first third is probably almost done, but it needs to be now put together. That's how I think. I don't think sitting at a computer screen typing and talking. Like, I think when I start writing.
God,
and
if I
that's how
never had to
wanna do
pick
it.
up a pencil again, so happy.
Yeah, see, we're totally different. man.
Never. I don't like the action. I always held a pencil wrong. I always held it with 2 fingers and then the 1 thumb,
Oh, yeah.
and it hurt my wrist. So I don't like writing. My handwriting is terrible. I've completely forgotten cursive. I could probably do it, but I remember the last time I really honestly did it was my SATs, and I was terrified, and it took me forever to do that capital Q or S or whatever the fuck the first letter was, and it was like, oh my god, think about every one. O, E, okay, oh, okay, yeah, that's... I just don't do it often enough for it doesn't seem practical anymore for me anyways for a day-to-day. Like, you'll come in my office and there's nothing on my desk. You go to my mom's office and there's sticky notes everywhere with little bits of information. There's paperwork in piles, and it's just like, how is this sustainable? I don't understand. For writing purposes, I still think it makes sense to have the topics and chunks of text searchable, so you could go, even if you just wrote it and then immediately when you were done writing for the day, typed it up. You know what I mean? Just so that you had that, so you could go, where was that thing? I remember writing a sentence where I said something, the dog. So you could type in the dog and then find that sentence. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of reasons where...
Yeah, but that's... I understand, but...
Yeah. As an
I don't have
after-the-fact thing.
Yeah, but that's not how creatively I work. Like, you're saying, like... For me, I have to actually write it down, and then I want to go
either
back
way,
and I want
eventually
to read it.
you could put it into an iBooks format, is what I'm saying. And I have
a
the software
publisher
for that.
already. I want see, and again, we're different readers. When I read something, I read a book, I want to hold it, I want to feel it. Like, I read on my phone because it's there, and But if I had the book,
Because you're shitting, and it's...
well,
there's
yeah,
nothing to
that's what I
do.
mean. But if I had the book, I would read the book.
But you got to carry the book with you then.
That's okay. I
That's
got
less
books in the
practical.
backseat of my car, man.
I feel like there's more chance that somebody would read it shitting if it was an ebook, so to speak.
Yeah, but I can genuinely say I don't want somebody to ever read my book while they're shitting.
Why?
Because I don't.
That's your own quality time,
No,
guy. That's not your alone time.
Find a sports page or read your book. Not while you're shitting. You're not reading my book.
Fuck that.
Nope.
I'm not going to. I mean, it depends what your book's about. If it's Big L about Big L, then I'm possibly in. But if it's Big L about the fictitious life of Big L,
What do you mean,
I
the
don't
fictitious
know.
life?
If it's not an actual biography, if you're writing a book, that's cool. But if you're writing a something about you that's loosely autobiographical, and you're like, and then that's when I nailed those 13 Colombian strippers.
Yeah, no,
you know what I
it's
mean? Like,
not.
if it's one of those, that might be interesting though. In second thought, I would probably read that too.
Yeah.
Why not?
We can always do
If you
another
could do
one, yeah.
if you could make Big Al like some sort of international spy, and that guy just went around and
How
did
do you know
everything
I'm
he
not
ever
an
wanted to do.
international spy now?
Way too lazy. Just no way. That's a lot of work and a lot of commitment, many years of training.
To be fair, I could be working for the government against you right now, and I would be the best spy ever. But I'm not.
You got
No,
take
I'm
me
not.
take me away.
I know, right?
Man, you got me. All my illegal activities. You busted me smoking a bowl.
You know, Jeremy said I got a bald spot on my calf, and I looked at it, right?
You
know
got
what
a
I
bald
noticed
spot on
since
your
I said
calf?
that? I do this a lot. I'm like always like itching the back of my calf.
I hear that your foot up to your knee is the most pleasurable area on your body to scratch.
So
and
like
itch.
that's my spot probably, my scratch spot.
Like if humans had the instinct to kick a leg, that would be you kicking your leg.
Yeah,
Your other leg, obviously. You wouldn't
That's
kick the leg that you're...
because it makes sense that I've been doing this for so long that I've literally probably worn the hair off.
You could have done that, yeah.
Or
My
I just
dad
don't
wore
have
too
hair.
tight of jeans and lost all of his leg hair. I'm going to
Yeah.
lose all my leg hair. Definitely.
So I was gonna say, I think
It's
that's
wispy
a
at
story.
best.
I think that's a story you're gonna probably tell your kids, but
What about?
the leg hair coming off.
I mean, I don't wear tight pants, so that shouldn't be the issue. I'm at
Yeah.
least going to eliminate that possibility. I've avoided wearing hats
Yeah,
so
but
as
you
not
don't
to
have
go
like
bald.
your dad's hair.
Yeah, but my brothers do.
Oh yeah, no, they do. They got it bad.
I don't understand how I missed out on that. Because it's not like I don't look enough like him that I'm obviously his.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, you're the mailman's. You know, that would
Yeah,
be
but
the
your
obvious
mom's not a
joke. But I look
mailman kinda guy.
too much like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Unless you have a bald spot and you just do a really good job, like the Ted Danson thing.
that's why I constantly pull it in a
Because- yeah,
ponytail.
that's
Not
why you
because
have to-
not because it's too long, but I
Yep.
don't want to cut it because I need to still
Covering up
film
a bald
stuff.
spot. Yeah.
It's I'm ready for a haircut, dude. Not a
Yeah.
short one, but like a last spring haircut. Again, just shoulder length.
Yeah.
It's fucking down to my tits. I mean, come on. The fact that I have tits is a bad thing too. Oh my god, the past couple days, not just the donut day, but like for some reason, the past like week or so, I've just been like hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's weird because when I go to work, I drink nothing but water all day. Well, I have a glass of milk with lunch with my chips
Yeah.
and salsa at noon.
Yeah.
But if I'm here in the morning, I get up and then I'm like instantly bored or something, so that I start looking for something to eat. Like I won't have a bowl of cereal because that's nighttime food. Don't be ridiculous. But
Why don't you start eating breakfast, guy?
I do to
Get
a
yourself
degree.
a little
But
power bar thing, dude, or a little granola bars.
I eat breakfast. I just eat it at noon. I'm not hungry before that necessarily. I'm doing it because I'm here and I don't have a task that I'm attending to.
But
Like
you
I
should be
almost
eating
need
it-
to be.
again,
I almost
you
need to
should
be at work
eating breakfast.
every day in the morning at least. If I could stay at work through lunch every day, I'd be cool with that.
Just work a half day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. Because I need that get up in the morning, get up and go thing. That would suck because I could never golf in the morning. But morning golf is the shit. Except for this past Sunday because holy fuck was it slow. So many people. Summer tree.
Yeah, but it was beautiful out Sunday,
It
wasn't
was-
it? Like
yeah.
actually hot.
Yeah. I mean, it took 40 minutes for 3 holes.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Maybe 2. I mean, it was bad. Very, very slow.
That's it, man. Nice weather's over, man. It's freezing fucking cold outside.
Is it?
Yeah.
I still have the AC on here.
Yeah, it's like 49 degrees.
No, it's not. Right now it's 49 degrees.
Yeah.
Shut up. Show me on your phone device. Is there a sound version that you could play a video or something that I could hear?
No, probably not.
Because that'd be way cooler if it had some sort of sound. Wow. I like to. I don't know. I like to think that this show kind of exists outside of a thing, like outside of the grid, as it were.
I don't,
But I guess-
I don't even know what that means. It's
but
54 degrees, my bad.
But I guess technically it doesn't if it's on iTunes. Because if anything was going to be considered the grid, right?
It's the internet in general would probably be the grid, but I mean iTunes is probably
Like the epicenter of it all. Like
Yeah.
trying to be counterculture on iTunes is like insert a joke here of something that is.
What the
that.
fish say when he hit the wall?
No, not that kind
Damn!
of joke.
Oh,
Not the joke, but yeah, I mean, I guess
I
that's
like
not
to
bad.
scream joke. I've been doing Rodney Dangerfield.
Speaking of
lately.
jokes,
What?
Peter's column,
Oh God, dude, the Family Guy episode.
the
That shit
Family
was
Guy
funny.
Simpsons crossover.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would like to also see the Simpsons version. Like that's the only way that it could not be better, but I'd like to see both.
Yeah.
This was clearly the Family Guy writers. It felt like I'm assuming the jokes felt like a Family Guy
The
episode.
jokes were more adulty and this and that, you know.
Yeah.
It was really good though, man. I thought it was well done.
It just I'd like to see what the Simpsonized version of Family Guy would
I'd
be.
like to see it all the time. But
It
you know
was-
what? But then it would get
I don't
old.
know. It was weird too. Like Stewie and Bart. I mean, that was okay at times, but it felt weird.
It was awkward. There was an awkward tension. I thought Stewie was gonna blow Bart.
That would have been amazing. Seriously, that would have been the best, dude. What were some of the good parts? Some of the
Oh,
highlights?
I can't even
though?
remember now, man. I really can't.
That sucks. I mean, Peter at the end, after they did the chicken fight, but with Homer instead,
Yeah.
and they fell down the fucking quarry, they fought into space. I mean, come on, all the good things. They start having one of those Simpson episode ending.
Roger from American Dad was really good.
That was great.
That was good.
That was a good
well
cameo
done.
because
Yeah.
they brought in family. The only thing they could have done would have been to brought in Futurama.
Yeah.
That would have been great if they had a quick cameo in space by Futurama.
Yeah.
Like if they had been having a party with.
Yeah, but Fox and Futurama just don't like each other.
I don't get it. Futurama's
They like
fucking great.
Because isn't Seth MacFarlane Futurama too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Matt Groening.
Matt Groening. Okay.
He's Futurama, yeah.
They just don't get along, man.
I don't
know
get it.
why. They bring it back. They canceled it. They
No,
brought it
Comedy
back.
Central brought it back.
Didn't Fox like cancel it and bring it back on Fox once too? No, huh?
They never brought it back on Fox. Fox gave it 5 years, but that doesn't feel like enough. They ended up doing 7 or 8 seasons, but it doesn't feel like enough. That show had infinite possibilities. I feel like they just scratched the surface. I'd love to see a season-long story in a cartoon. That'd be the shit. Like a season-long space epic.
I like the Flintstone part. That was funny.
Yeah.
With the Fred Flintstone.
Oh my God, the thing where they were talking about that you didn't even catch it first, which I thought that was like right in your face.
What?
The when they were at Moe's and Moe rips the label. They're arguing about the beer, and he goes, "That's the same as Duff. It's just a cheap imitation or whatever." Oh, I like to think we took it in our own direction. And then Moe peels the label off, and he goes, "Look, it's just Duff with a fancy new label put on it." Like they were talking about this, Family
I
Guy
got it.
versus
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That was great. Just like, oh, you can't just slap a new label on it. Oh, well, you didn't invent beer.
Well, no, what was it? He said something about being 13 years. Like, he hasn't drank Duff
Oh,
in 13 years.
He's like, a Duff was great. I used to love it when I was a kid, but that I haven't had it in 13 years. Like,
Family Guy's been on for 13 years. Is that what he was saying? Like, see,
Family
that's
Guy's
another
been
thing.
on since 99.
Yeah, I don't have any concept of how long The Simpsons have actually been on. Like, what's the math on it's what?
The Simpsons is on season 26.
26, yeah.
So they started in 89, I believe. Was their
88 would have been it if it's 2014.
No, but their first episode was in 89. I don't know if that was the first season or if they just did the Christmas special. Somebody suggested when they did one of the guys on the Simpsons writing team suggested what I would consider to be how would you end the Simpsons?
We had this
We
conversation.
did have this
on
on a podcast.
On
Oh,
a
okay,
podcast.
so that was that was recently then. I love the fucking loop idea, but I think that was a standalone episode to start. I don't think that was meant to be a series. What he did, I heard recently, is that when he went in to pitch The Simpsons, he went in to pitch Life in Hell, his one-eared bunny comic.
Yeah.
But then he realized if he did that, he'd lose all the rights to it.
Yeah.
So on the spot, he made up The Simpsons.
Yeah, because he wanted to keep the thing. Well,
Yeah.
and that's what The Simpsons. They've technically, Wikipedia said that The Simpsons is based off of growing up in Springfield, Oregon, because that's where Greening's from. Mm-hmm. But The Simpsons themselves are not based out of Oregon.
Correct.
And it said, and the thing said they'd never said, but they have said that one episode they said
Northern
Kentucky family
behind the laughter.
Yeah,
that's what it
that's
was.
what it was.
Great fucking episode. I feel like that was like season 11 or 12. Like
I
it
don't
was
know, dude. My
relatively early.
timing on it's all off. That's another thing. We've been watching that 70s show. When we watched all those episodes, I was like, wow, all those, I've seen all those. Those were all the first season. Like, that's weird, you know?
Yeah.
They brought back Monopoly.
Who did?
McDonald's.
Oh, why? Nobody cares about Monopoly. Pick
I'm
something
going to-
contemporary.
I'm going to Monopoly. I'm going to
I'm going to Monopoly.
I'm going to Monopoly. I don't even care about the McDonald's.
When was the last time you Monopolied? When was the last time you played a board game?
We used to play them at the island.
So at least 2 years?
Yeah, probably 2 years.
I haven't played Monopoly since we played it on the NES.
Yeah.
That one time.
I have Monopoly. It's a Chicago Bears one. But
It's fucking, I don't know. It's not, like, you fall into the same patterns, I feel like.
what do you mean?
I feel like the same inevitable shit's going to happen. You know, somebody's going to buy up all of those, and then...
But that's how Monopoly goes, guy. I
know.
mean, what do you think's going to happen in Monopoly?
I feel like it always falls into the same pattern, though, when I play with certain people. Like, it always ends up being the same shit. Like, I end up getting the reds, and because that's, you know, if you get the reds, then when you come around and miss that free parking, I don't know. It feels like it needs a reinvention.
We used to play Pictionary at Brittany's.
That's the drawing game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we played that a couple times as a kid. It's weird because I think of like what my parents did for parties and like they just bought into it. I have such a hard time committing to a bit in terms of like real life stuff. I can commit to a bit all day.
Yeah.
But committing to like my dad printing Henderson pool tournament t-shirts for everybody that was going to come to the party, and they were going to have a bracketed tournament for pool, and they did, and everybody came and drank beers and had a good time.
Okay.
But
Sounds like a great idea.
committing enough or thinking people care enough to make, or for me to make and then them to wear t-shirts for what is essentially everybody coming over to use my pool table.
Yeah, but that's what you do when you host a party, guy.
I know, it feels shallow. I don't know how to get past that. I want to do the things like, hey, let's play a party game. I feel like a party is just another gathering, like any other day. So I've been making some sort of an effort towards being more familial in that sense with the kids, trying to do things like I said, the thing with Lena. I'm trying to do things with them so I don't miss out on that time. The stuff that I remember my dad doing.
Okay.
But in a 2014 version. Obviously, it can't be the same shit.
What do you mean? Why can't it be the same
Because
shit?
life isn't the same anymore. For example, you didn't have the option to go watch your favorite show at any given time. So that makes a huge difference in the kids' lives.
Yeah, but maybe
They
you
would
should-
have to wait until one day a week, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. I'm not saying that it's better
Yeah.
or worse now. I'm just saying these are the worlds we live in. So something like that practically would be different.
Yeah.
So like it wouldn't be, oh, you're grounded from watching that show at 7, go to bed. It would, I don't know. There would be a change to the way it was handled. Time management is different now.
Yeah, but don't you guys do game nights?
What do you mean?
Like you, Jen, and Sawyer?
Not
and,
really.
Ours
Sawyer's
guys-
not really old enough to play a game per se like that.
Yeah.
It would have to be something rudimentary. But like Lena, playing catch with her, even something like that. I remember loving playing catch with my dad and being like, holy shit, he can throw a baseball high into the air.
Yeah.
Like, that's never coming back down.
Your dad had a wicked curveball, too.
And that's me. I could do that now. I could
Yeah.
go and throw the ball straight up in the air to where Lena's like, holy shit, Dad, that's gone. She wouldn't say holy shit, but
She probably would.
if she did, I would let her off with it because she was talking about my awesome arm.
So
I
then
don't know.
why don't you just go do it?
What?
That stuff.
What stuff?
Don't go play catch with Lena.
I do. I'm saying that those are the things I am doing.
Okay.
Those are the things that directly correlate to my childhood and, positive reinforcement and shit like that.
So
Like,
then what's the problem with throwing a pool tournament party?
it's not that. It's I know people's schedules are bullshit.
Yeah.
So it would have to be a weekend, and weekends people are like it's their precious gold time. Oh, I can't spare any weekend moments.
Yeah.
So
I just need advance to take the night off of work, guy. Like
Yeah.
if you plan a party for October, if you tell me and say, hey, look, I'm gonna have a pool tournament on October.
yeah, but if I said I'm
14th.
having a party Saturday afternoon to evening, you'd say I work all day Saturdays.
If it was in Saturday in 4 days, yes.
No, I'm saying a month out. You'd still go, but that's like my biggest money making day.
Yeah, but if you're having a party or we're having a get together or something, if
That's
you're saying,
the part of it that bugs me is that I feel like then I'm taking on some importance on myself because I think that I'm worth you ditching work and
well,
missing
it's
out
not
on your
you,
big
it
payday.
would be the gathering and the event.
I know, but still, that's the part that inherently bugs me. It feels too self-centered or it's delusional in a way that people would
But
think...
I wouldn't be coming to see you. I'd be coming to see everybody else.
I know, but if you were coming and I was to presume that everybody would pay $10 for a T-shirt and got them printed and, put something with my own
And your dad
thing on-
probably didn't make everybody else pay for their T-shirts. I'm
He
just saying.
absolutely did.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, I was there.
All right. You're seeing the cash change hands.
Yes, and I remember the shirts.
Yeah.
They were maroon with like ugly gold writing, like hideous shirts. I believe I could find one, but I don't know how do I. I guess because I've looked at things so practically from a TV movie side of making things, like that practicality. I've come to the realizations in the world that, some stuff is just I'm never going to get to be the same happy that like a young kid is. Like that innocence is gone. You know what I mean? Like the glass has been shattered on too many things. How do I pull back from that? How do you come back a level from the glass has been shattered on everything? And like anything that you're doing is like, if I have to be involved in any way in setting up a party and like making stuff for it and you know what I mean, like the decorations or any of that stuff, I feel like I've seen too much. And then when I go there, it's not the same as if I went to somebody else doing that. But now I'm even aware that, oh, wait a minute, somebody else had to just make this stuff. You know what I mean? Like every glass is shattering all the time. You know what I mean by glass is shattering?
Yeah. You just have to do it, guy.
I know, but
And
it's
no. That's
how do
it.
I get past the it
By doing
feels
it.
fake?
By doing it.
Because I don't think my dad was faking when he was doing those things.
No.
That's the difference.
Then do something that you genuinely want to do. Don't
But it
do something
feels
that's going to
weird.
feel fake.
I don't know how
Well,
to do
because
that.
you don't genuinely want to do anything.
I want to do stuff,
Go name one thing.
but a party.
Name one thing. A party for what?
No. I was saying a party isn't necessarily something that I feel like is a collective shared thing that everybody would want to come over and play pool. I feel like that's presumptuous. And then inevitably most people are going to have scheduling conflicts and things like that. So I end up how do you say that? Being
what'd you
too
end up
practical to where I take all the fun out of it. And that's everyday
life. To be
life.
fair, you haven't even gotten out of your head enough at this point in your whole scenario you've built up to even ask if people want to come to your party. Like you're not even.
I hadn't even made the decision to have a party. Yeah.
No, I know that, but I'm saying in your scenario that you've conjured up in your head,
Yeah.
you haven't even gotten out of your head enough in
Correct.
the scenario
Yeah.
to ask people if they'd want to come to your house and have a party.
I feel like that's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
That.
So you should just do it. That's what
But
I'm saying.
that's-
Just do it. Jump in the pool. Rip the Band-Aid off, guy.
I feel like I guess the
You know it's gonna hurt. Rip
I
it
guess
off.
the issue is failure. Really, I guess the worry, if I boil right down to it, the
Are
worry
you worried
is
about
failure.
like failing at a party or failing at game night or
well,
like
failure in general. That's the only reason not to do something.
why be scared, guy? What's the worst thing that's gonna happen?
Failure.
Here,
That's pretty
I
terrifying,
got it for you
actually.
right here, actually.
No, I'm saying failure is terrifying. I don't need to be talked into doing stuff. I'm trying to talk through not wanting to do stuff because of the idea of failing. I don't want egg on my face. I don't want to be publicly humiliated in some way. I don't want to be looked at as
It's
somebody
gonna
who's
happen,
failed
guy.
at
You
stuff.
can't
And I
worry
know
about it.
that. So that's what I'm trying to get through. How the fuck do I do that besides just do it? Like, there's got to be something else.
You just do it, man. Because here's the deal: is that you're failing.
So is
By
it
not
is it
even
completely
trying.
is it completely yeah, I know. Is it that's what I'm saying. Is it self-fulfilling prophecy or is it fuck, I forgot the question I was going to ask. I don't know. I feel like even if I did something like that, it could still I don't know. The failure part of it, I guess, would be finding out that I don't have as many friends as I thought I did. I'm trying to get to the very nub of what could go wrong.
Yeah.
The people not showing up.
Well, then that happens, and you throw another party.
Well, but why would you throw another party if nobody came to the first one? Do you have to
eventually-
build up a party reputation? This isn't all about a party, remember?
No, I know, but
Party isn't the only
I know,
thing
but
on
we're
the-
but yes.
But in general,
Yes.
failure is the worry,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
What
yeah.
what motivates you for shit? Is it
What do you mean?
What keeps you trying to do things?
Dude, because here's what it is, and I'm gonna say this dude, because really, every morning when I wake up on my mom's couch, I have an opportunity to make my dreams a reality, be it whatever they are. And
Do you have any specific ones?
a sold out seats to hear a Big Al speak. That's it. That's the end goal. For me, that's it.
Okay.
Be it on HBO, be it renting out a concert hall, like whatever, sold out seats to hear Big Al speak. Don't know how I'm going to get there and what steps I'm going to take, but that's what it is, guy.
Okay.
Be,
Do you,
so,
do you have an idea for what the end result of that is? What your content is? Like, is it stand up or is it?
I haven't even gotten that far, guy. Whatever it takes to get there. But I know that I've been doing these things and practicing these steps. And like, for example, the step I'm taking with my customer service class. Like, yeah, dude, check this out. I'm going to go into a place, right, where all these people have worked there longer than I have. And I have to tell them they suck at their job. And then motivate
Hey, as long
them
as
to
you
do
have
it.
the authority to do so. If you're
Yeah.
just an asshole coming in and doing that,
I'm
that's
just a
different.
server, though, guy.
No, I know,
They
but
don't, but they know me as Server Alex.
Yeah.
They don't know me as this is what I do, right? So, but I'm gonna fail. There's gonna be people there that aren't even gonna listen to me. They're gonna stare at me and smile and be like, "Oh, it's awesome," and the whole time they're gonna be like, "Well, fuck you." Like, what the fuck? You can't tell me anything. You haven't even worked here as long as I have, blah, blah, blah. But it's not about them. It's really not about those people in that first class.
When was the first class?
It's in 2 weeks, I think, actually.
Okay.
But it's not about the people that are going to be in the first class. It's about doing it and getting over that stuff. Getting over the fact in my head. Because here's the deal, is no matter what, dude, I talk to complete strangers all the time. But
being entertaining is slightly different.
it's not about being entertaining. When I did that comedy show, when I went up there to do a stand-up routine, that's totally different. You know what I mean? Like, I have done stuff.
Well, yeah, that's different than the class. That's different than the class. Yeah.
But, I've given the class before. All 2 years I worked at Don Pablo's, they gave their version. Now I'm doing mine. And for example, the project that I'm working on with my dad, like, I knew the shit he was going to tell me. But still, to hear him tell me that is glass shattering. You know what I mean? It really is. Like, it's almost not real till it's said out loud.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is you're having through now, is that, like, well, I don't think I have as many friends as I do to even have a tournament.
Oh, no.
And then everybody
Just
else
an
just show
example.
up. Yeah, I'm using the...
Yeah.
But we're staying in that scenario. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you say it out loud. It's still the fact. It's just, it's glass shattering to hear it. But you had to do it and get over with. The last time I went to talk to my dad, I went there, pushed the issue, got to hear it. It, like, stunned me, took me a step back, went on with the rest of the conversation, and instead of trying to build back up to go, okay, let's get back to the moment, just wait till next time and I'll do it again. And this time when it happens, I won't react the same way.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's not about me giving that first class.
So did
it's
you decide you didn't like doing stand-up?
Oh, I do stand up all the time, guy. Like, I do
Well-
really, that's what I do at the bar, is perform for people and they tip me. Like, no joke, that's what I do for a living.
Well,
Joel.
now if we're serving beverages at your comedy show,
I'd have been 10 times fucking funnier.
why don't you just do that? Why don't you just, well, no shit, that's basically just owning a bar. That's no fun.
No, it's not.
I was going to say, why
bar.
don't you, there's got to be a way to, because they're coming there not for you, they're coming there for the alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a product that they want.
Well, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
that's not the same as the thing where you're taking the product away. That's what I'm trying to get to. How do we get to people giving a shit about us without the clever hook? You know, the clever hook being, I
Word of
sell
mouth
alcohol.
advertising. And I'm going to tell you, and this is in my class.
No, to care about our stuff as much as they care about alcohol, kind of thing. That's what I'm meaning.
Word of mouth advertising. That is the only thing in this world that matters. Because nobody, you could watch all this shit. They got all this print. They got all this $4.99, all this stuff. It does not matter. But if I call you and I say, my sister called it Simpsons, the Simpsons thing. I only pushed to watch it
I don't
today.
think that really needed her pub, but
that's okay. Like, the only reason I pushed to watch it before we did the podcast was because she called and told me how good it was. Word of mouth advertising. We saw the previews. We knew how good it was. We didn't even care. Once my sister called to say, hey, this is really, really good, as soon as I knew you had it downloaded, we watch it. That's how it is. We need to, like you were saying, you push it on Facebook. That's fine. We need to go push it to 1,000 people. Dude, intro to business rule number 1 is flyer return. Out of
yeah, I
you're
know,
gonna get
1 per 3,
3%.
something.
So, but word of mouth advertising, we get people to care and people to want to come listen to us because other people tell them how great we are. That's it. That's the only reason.
That feels equally as that. I guess that's my big issue with everything. Then that feels equally as tooly as making printing shirts.
I wish you
it's
could
not
listen.
Self-deprecating. I'm not saying it in that manner.
I know, but like
that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it feels the same to me as the reasons that I wouldn't throw a party and print shirts with my name on them.
I know, and I wish you could get out of your head enough to listen to like how tooly you sound anyways. And I'm not like being a dick or trying to make fun of you.
How
but,
does
like,
it sound tooly to be humble and say,
I
why
don't
should
know.
somebody care?
That's-
There has to be a reason. I got to
Why
give
would I
something.
throw a party when I don't even know if anybody's going to come up? Why would I
That was
expect anybody
a
to
example
care?
of why
Listen,
I wouldn't
this-
want to throw a party, and that was a random example of a
Because you
thing.
sound like Jim. Why would I put on a show if nobody's going to come?
That's not at all what I'm saying. That was one thing that could... I said failure was the fear. Not that nobody would come. That was a way that I could fail in that regard.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. You're making it like I'm afraid to talk to humans, or
No,
I don't want to
that's not
do
what I'm
things
saying.
because I'm scared of it.
No,
like
you're
that.
saying
That's not
that
what
you
I
don't
mean.
want us. You want us to be humble, and you wanted this, but you're not coming off as humble. you're coming off as, well, nobody likes me.
I'm
My
not
stuff's
saying that
not
at all. I'm
good.
saying I have to
That's
give
it.
them a legit reason to. I'm being realistic. I'm not saying, oh, poor me, nobody likes me. I'm still doing my shit. If I was that way, I would stop. I'm saying I haven't yet found the thing that makes people want to come to me the way they come to a bar for beer.
Well, because you don't get people drunk. That's why they go to a bar for beer.
I know, but if I could, comedians draw people to them. That's the kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not going, woe is me. Oh, this is the time where I don't have to worry about shit because I get to just do whatever. I'm not worried about people listening.
No. See,
and I'm
here's the
not being
problem.
self-deprecating where I don't think I'm good at what I'm doing. I
No.
am, but I'm not to any point where it matters yet. That's all.
See, and you're missing the point is that you're saying that, like, you don't want to, like, you don't expect people to want to come, and we're staying in the party scenario. That's the only reason I keep saying
Well,
it.
just
but,
go
like,
to the podcast thing.
Well, like,
because
yeah,
we're talking
okay.
about that too.
So then, like, how do I get people to want to listen to the podcast? You have to go tell people, hey, listen to my podcast.
And I do.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to tell everybody and more people, and those people that like it are going to tell other people. That's the only way.
Okay,
That's it.
But we're doing that.
Absolutely. And it's not just going to happen overnight.
I know.
Like, think about it, dude. We've been doing podcasts, TV show, all this stuff. Like, how many fans do we actually have that aren't related to either of us?
Fuck if I know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
we haven't hit on anything that matters, and that's until we do that. I'm not going to be holy shit. We're the best at everything. That's where I get. That's where you lose me with enthusiasm for some of the stuff we've done. A lot of it is good. None of it's great, and we have to admit that because it's not.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they shouldn't watch it because they might think that we're cheeseballs.
When
Everything
somebody
in-
tells you
everything is in context, guy.
like
If you
when
say
I watched an
something
episode of something and then I tell somebody, "Oh my god, that was the greatest episode of that show I've ever seen," and it was, and then they go watch it and they're like, "Meh, I built it up too much." That's the logic that I'm using there. I'm saying if you're going, holy shit, we did this thing, this Inception parody, and then somebody watch it. Let me finish. You're ready to talk already.
I am, because
you let somebody watch it and they're like, but I watched Inception and I liked Inception. That's not even at all what the movie was about, or whatever the conclusion they come with, because we only got halfway through the movie and we're like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging my hat on that. I would just pitch it in a slightly different way so as to curb expectations. I was saying, yeah, we fucked around and made something about Inception. We called it Unception. But to go, dude, you got to see this thing we did. That to me sets an unrealistic expectation of what they're gonna watch.
And the way you make it sound is you go, yeah, we fucked around a little. Why would somebody care about something we fucked around a little bit on?
Because
No,
we
why?
made it
No,
from scratch.
yeah, but they don't give a fuck about
But if you
that.
show it to them then, and then they go, wow, that was actually good. You see the difference between going, dude, it's fucking awesome, and then they watch it and they're like, that was okay.
That's how I feel about. Okay, now we're picking on Inception. That's how I feel about Inception. I think it is awesome, guy. It's great. We did that in like 35 minutes. We made a parody off of Inception, off of watching 29 minutes of it, and people hate it because we're making fun of Inception and they love the movie.
Or they hated it because we didn't know what Inception was about, really, because I still don't really know.
It's a
Something
dream
about
inside of
dreams and
yourself.
dreams
Yeah.
and waking up with water, and we just ran with that. My point is, unless it was like this biting fucking clever parody of it, which it surely wasn't. It was base level. We were picking at the most obvious things on it. We were looking at it at the very surface. We didn't go any deeper than that, really. If it was some biting thing like the way they did that in the Simpsons Family Guy, where they were talking about the shows in a meta way, but disguising it as something. If it was something like that and we were making this fucking awesome point, you bet your ass I would be proud as fuck of that and being like, dude, you gotta see that.
But but you're not selling it at all, guy. You're not giving it anything.
I sell the things that I'm proud of that we've done.
But you don't. You're not emoting. You're not like selling it, guy. You're just like, because we're sitting here and we're talking about it and you're like, yeah, we've done stuff and you've seen all our shows and this and that.
They have. Well, I can't show them anything new unless I have something new, and that's all I'm working on.
I know, but like
you
don't like, yeah, okay, fine. I was over the top. You weren't even close enough to get to the line, man. Like you're not doing anything. Hey, this is my show. Watch it. Tell me what you think. Hey, watch this now. It's great. Watch it.
I gave
Tell
it
me
to
what
somebody
you
in
think.
Hollywood.
Huh?
I gave it to somebody in Hollywood.
Who?
The DVDs. I gave them to Dan Harmon.
That's
one step up. Come on, you got to give me something for that.
You gave it to him.
He didn't watch them.
Okay. Well, no, obviously, no, he didn't watch them. But
I gave
you still
him
got to
to
go.
him.
You should go give them to somebody else in Hollywood.
Well,
I mean,
as soon as they come out here, I'm in.
Exactly. As soon as they come out here, why not go to all the places in Chicago and go see a guy, stand outside afterwards, and be like, "Dude, you're awesome. Here's my copy of my show."
I don't know. I guess I
Because you
maybe
don't-
I foolhardily adopted the wrong mindset on all of it, but I don't feel like I'm the type of person who will easily
because you
change
can't.
that.
Because you can't.
What I'm
just
saying
do
is
it.
but that's what the people that I look up to did. They
Who?
did just do it. Literally, Ricky Gervais worked at a fucking college until he was 38. And then he hired Steve Merchant to be his intern. He was just at the top of the pile at XFM when they were doing radio.
Okay.
And Steve Merchant was still in school. And for a school project, they needed to film something. So he then said, well, let me do my CD Boss character. And then they filmed the Office pilot, which is not the one they ended up using, but a demo for it. And then they gave it to his school, and he got a good grade on it. But then they offered it to BBC. And Steve said after the meeting, he thought Ricky blew it a bunch of times, and next time let him talk, because Ricky's just like, no, it's going to be exactly the show that I'm going to give you. I want Final Cut, or we won't do it. That's how I feel about it all. If it doesn't get to be whatever stupid, whether ill-advised or not at the time, whatever my mindset is that I want to do, if I'm not doing that, what I feel immediately when you say, hey, go meet up with people in Chicago, I feel like that's a lot of ass kissing. And a lot of jumping through hoops where you're gonna go to an audition, for example, which
That's
I
not
would
at
never
all what
do.
I was saying.
No, I know.
No.
But I'm saying on that line, I would never go to an audition because
that's
I
not what you
couldn't
wanna
deal with
do.
sitting in a room with 300 people that looked like me that were going to do the same basic reading. Like
But
that's not
what
my
you
thing.
want to do. You don't want to be an
Correct.
actor.
So that's as soon as it starts going to where, well, I want to network with people too. Like I like the idea of making contacts to do similar things. Like whenever like Asteria used to film a music video, whoever they filmed with, I would then make that contact and I'd keep up with them and shit like that, because I don't know, I just felt like maybe they have something to offer, whether it's a shot technique or whatever. But I don't like going and seeking out ones that are like already established. Does that make sense? Like a company. Like I wouldn't go to I'm trying to think of a good example.
I know, but then like, what do you expect to happen? Like for them to really come here to Crown Point?
Oh,
to pull
eventually
you out of-
I come up with something that's good enough. No, I don't want to leave. That's the other thing. My dream is different. So I'm working towards my goal, and my goal is not to go live out in Hollywood and make movies.
No, your goal is to have somebody come here.
No, not
Yeah,
somebody. The internet is everywhere. Nobody has to go anywhere. They
pay
can-
you for your product while
Correct.
you're here.
Pay me
That's
to
what
make
you want.
a product.
You want people to pay you to make your product.
To make a product.
Your
correct.
product, not a product.
Yes.
Your product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Because they're two
So
different
I have
things.
to have to find like-minded enough audience. Because as I said, I'm just following examples. Louis C.K. and all them say they write to make them and a select group of friends laugh. And so that's it seems like the more there are the more broad things that hit, but I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound fun to me. Making 2.5 Men doesn't sound like fun. That's not going to be creatively rewarding. It could sound snobby or whatever, but I don't need it. I don't need to do this yet. It's a want. It's a goal. So I don't have to go, well, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do what I want to, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I at least did what I loved all these years.
And fair enough.
If I do this
But
forever
that's
and never make anything of it, that's
and,
cool.
And this is totally different. What does this have to do with the humble part? Because what you're trying to do is
I'm saying I wouldn't give them my first project and be all, this is what I can do. Because then they might think, oh, that's all he can do.
Yeah. Okay. And here's the thing. Is
So
that,
we come to like the thing with Jim's
do-
music where I'm like, just put it out. It's the best you can do right now. And he's like, but it's not the best I could do. And he's thinking long term, and so am I. I'm thinking the same way. I'm a perfectionist in that regard. I
Yeah,
want
but
to
you
put
got
out
to
the
put it
best
out
thing.
because you got to put out something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like again,
Hence the podcast now.
But
because
but
this
that's
is
not-
easy to do.
Yeah, but it's not gonna help. If anything, it hurts.
Oh, it doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah. But like, and again, I wasn't telling Damon like, hey, dude, Inception's the greatest thing we ever done. Blah blah blah. I was like, dude, you should watch that. It's pretty funny. Do you like Inception? And either they go yes or no. It's like, well, you should watch it. It's funny because it is funny, guy. You could sit
Why
here
do
and
you
hate
get
on
so
it.
defensive when I just say
Because
I
you
don't
say
share
that
your enthusiasm for
you-
promoting some of our shittier stuff?
You don't share it because you
I
say
am
shittier.
enthusiastic.
Less of a quality. Why has it got to be shittier, guy? I mean, what
Because-
better than what stuff? what is the? I mean,
Because
what,
that was parody. That's all. To me, parody is lower on the totem pole creatively than something original.
yeah, but it's still on the totem pole. It's still out there.
Yeah.
What if? I mean,
But
what if
lesser,
they check this out?
What does something lower on a totem pole that could be described as shittier? That's
All right,
all.
fair
That was
enough.
all. That was. I'm not meaning it's literally
What
shittier.
if Damon shows it to somebody in Hollywood? It's like, oh my god, wow, that's funny. I like the way those guys think.
Okay, then they would talk to us and say, "What are you guys thinking? What
Exactly,
what do you
yeah.
want to do?"
But if I don't tell Damon to watch Unception, that might not ever happen.
I've told him to watch stuff in the past. We used to talk via Facebook message, and he's watched something and given me feedback on it, and I didn't oversell. And I'm not saying you oversold. I'm just saying I feel like you lean more towards that, and I don't know that it would help versus being excited for somebody to watch your stuff versus being really like watch our stuff. We're the
It's
shit.
selling, guy. It's not.
I know.
It's not. And
But
selling.
it feels like selling out is what I'm saying. It feels like it.
Get out of your head, guy, because it's not selling.
I'm telling
out.
you how I feel.
Yeah, it's not selling out,
feels
though.
like selling out is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By going, oh my God, we're awesome, when I know the stuff could be better. That's my perfectionist side, and that's not going to go away. And one of these days, I'm going to put together something that takes so long because of the perfectionist side, and it's going to be lauded. It has to be. Eventually, somebody's going to go, oh, that was pretty cool. And it's going to be because of my instinct to work on it a little bit longer instead of going, hey, here's the first thing I thought of, let's do it. Like, for real, Jim would put out a video every week if I would film it and edit it for him. Like, he'd come up with a new concept and put it out, and
Yeah,
he'd
but I
never
don't
think about it again. I
but
can't do that.
I don't understand. Now we have 3 separate issues.
What?
How are they all correlating together?
Go on. What do you see as the three
Because
issues?
we were talking about the
fear of failure.
The fear of failure. I've gotten past that because I understand.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's the next
You don't
one?
want the rejection. The humble part. And
Yeah,
then you were
in
talking
terms
about,
of compared to
and-
what our quality is.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, and now what was the other thing you just said? I'm sorry, say it again.
Oh, I'm saying it's perfectionism because, like,
But how does
Jim
the
would be happy.
perfectionism have to do with the humble though? Like, I get perfectionism. Yeah, but you should still be
Perfectionism
doing
is
stuff.
I have to be humble about my stuff because I haven't perfected anything yet. Once I've perfected something, I will be. Once I hit that fucking bit that's going to make everybody in our circle laugh like out loud, no matter how many times they've seen it, then I will know I have something. Until that moment, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm the shit. I'm an aspiring comedian. Here's the stuff that I do. And absolutely, I'm going to say, I think it's good. I'm not going to say it in a way that makes it sound shitty, but I'm also not going to I don't want to give unrealistic expectations because I don't want somebody to go, man, that thing was kind of crappy. I was expecting blah,
but
blah.
here's the problem is that they're going to think it's crappy or they're going to think it's good. It's got nothing to do with your expectations.
No, but if like I said, Andy's come in and said, this was the best fucking episode, hands down, and then I watch it, I'm like, meh, because I'm expecting more. I'm expecting it to really fucking wow me. So to me, I always go, yeah, it was pretty good. Watch the episode. Tell me what you think afterwards. And then when they're done, I'm like, yeah, right? That was fucking awesome. But I didn't want to say it's awesome in advance because then they'll go, well, it was okay. I mean, maybe their definition of awesome is different and they're like have a really inflated sense of awesome. I'm not shutting anything out and I'm not like doing a thing. I'm just being honest that I'm a perfectionist and I'm not going to go, oh my God, love me until I feel it's deserved. It could be 15 years. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the journey is the other thing. There's not a pressing need. If I was doing this for a living, like if I was determined, like I could do that if I really wanted to. I'm sure I could go, okay, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to figure out a way to hustle and, do comedy in some form or fashion for a living. I'm sure I could pull it off, but that sounds really stressful. And that's not what this is about for me. This is supposed to be about fun and coming up with things that nobody else would. So as soon as I get in that environment where, oh my God, I just have to do the next thing, that's going to lose a lot of the luster for me.
You're talking like 15 years, like, and like, God forbid, but like, dude, RDS could close down in a year.
Yeah. And
then you don't have a job, and then maybe you have to struggle. Maybe you should just try putting a little bit more effort into it now.
Probably. And that's probably what I'm getting towards by the whole discussion.
But it goes back to the Bar Louie thing. Like, the reason that took so long, we ended up waiting. Dude, we started talking about that.
I mean, we could have done it the next week. Now we have a portable stand that we could go do this live.
But it was like, man, and then like, what if nobody shows up? And like, what if
No, I don't care if anybody shows up for that. Yeah. That was never the concern. the concern was always how do we take a we can't hear you.
How long has it been?
We're over an hour. The concern was never for me whether somebody would come and watch it or whatever. It was the technical side of it. I didn't want to plug into somebody else's board and be at their mercy and have everything be all fucked up. So we finally have a semi-mobile, it's just a one-board mixing thing for the podcast now. You can watch it on the YouTube channel. And, I mean, I swear to you, I don't stage arguments with Big L. We have to contradict each other. It can't just be a discussion, because I really like the human side of emotion, and I really like delving into maybe why something is more so than here's the answer. And I guess that's more of a guy thing and I do it too, because my wife will come to me with an issue about something and I'll give the stock guy answer. I mean, it won't be stock because I will have thought it, but whatever my regular, oh, come on, if somebody's picking on my daughter at school, don't listen to kids or always fight back, or, whatever the thing would be, it probably wouldn't be what I would do. I don't know. I wish I could do the things. I wish I could be as good of a person as I tell people to be. One of these days, I'm going to film a music video for this song. What was your question? Was that your question?
Do you have an intro video?
No, one of these days, I'm going to make a music video for that song. Just anybody who wants to be in a 70s themed music video. It's funny, we're watching that 70s show. We'll have plenty of inspiration. See you next week. This will be out on the regular Wednesday, even though we're recording it a day early. Shh, I think I'm going to do them early from now on.
It's only Tuesday? I got a Disco Stew afro.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, see you later.
And if I lose you now, I think I would die. Oh, say you'll always be my baby, we can make it shine.
All these memories in my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.